Welcome back, everyone, with Recovery Dan. First and foremost, I'd like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I'd like to also thank you for all the support that's coming in. I really appreciate that, and we are reaching people. I would like to talk about a little continuation about what we talked about on our last episode, admitting you have a problem. And I want to kind of just give you some tips sort of on how you can recognize that you have a problem. But before I get to that, what I failed to talk about was the functional alcoholic, because I have been addressing alcoholics and addicts that's done lost everything and hit bottom. But you can be functional and still be an alcoholic, and one of the ways that you can maintain your job, but the reason you're an alcoholic, because if you wake up in the morning and you got to have a drink before you go to work, you got to go drink during your lunch time. You come home from work, you need a drink. You got to have a nightcap before you go to bed. Those are signs of being an alcoholic. And so you're not excluded in this disease either. A lot of times people have bottles of alcohol in their offices. We look at them, and though they haven't lost anything, but your family could be interrupted because of your drinking. So it doesn't matter. You don't have to lose everything to be an alcoholic. And I just wanted to address that because there's lawyers, doctors, you name it. So you may need to take a look at that also if you are a functional alcoholic, because you can be a functional alcoholic and at some point you become dysfunctional. So, keep that in mind. So back to this topic about admitting you have a problem. Just a couple of tips. One of them, you need to look at your behavior. Have your behavior changed? And what I mean by that is, have you started doing things you don't normally do? You're stealing from your mother, and your fathers, your family members, things that you didn't normally do prior to having this addiction. And be quite frankly with you, especially with the female, when you go out and you begin to sleep around with men that just to support your habit, if you can't look at that and see there's a problem, something's wrong, because that's out of your character. Some of those men that you fool around with, you wouldn't give them the time of day if you didn't have this addiction. And so those are kind of things that you really need to look at. Your behavior. You can take say if you have kids and you get some assistance with food, and they give you the EBT card, and you take that and you use that card to trade for drugs, sell it, get food for other people, but you won't even feed your own family. There are some serious issues going on there. But those things you really have to realize and take a look at is your behavior. If you just be honest with yourself and say, man, my God, I never thought that addiction would take me this far. Take me farther than I want to go and keep me longer than I choose to stay. Those are things that really, you have a problem. When your behavior becomes so bad that you don't even recognize who you are. And the next one is trust. When people don't trust you anymore, when your parents can't leave their pocketbook laying around because they don't trust you. You have taken from them, your own family, the ones that, put a roof over your head. And it's bad when they can't even leave the room without having to carry their purse with them. Things around the house come up missing. See, I can tell you this because I've been there. I've been there. And that's bad when people can't trust you. They can't even let you borrow the car to go to the store because you might not even come back. And that's not the way you want to live your life. You want people to be able to trust you, and you have to earn that trust. It's not given to you. You have to earn it, and the only way you're going to earn it, you're going to have to show them that you made a change. It was years before I was able to win people's trust back. It didn't happen overnight. They trust me with their cars again. I mean, it was strange to me when people would even leave me in their house by myself. Because you know what? They were so used to that old Danny that would take this or take that. You couldn't turn your back. If it wasn't nailed down, I would take it. And but to win back that trust from your family, that's an awesome feeling. But it didn't come overnight. I had to earn that trust back. And today, people give me the keys and they go out of town. I mean, so they don't have to worry about that. And you can also get that trust back with people. It's never too late. You just got to go out there. Like I said, you just have to be willing to put the work in to regain that trust. When you find yourself isolating, you go into isolation. Isolation a lot of times is because of your shame and your guilt and remorse. The things that you've done, the people that you hurt. It's hard to look another person in the face, especially people and family. They know that you have this addiction and you have to bear the shame of it. It's even hard to look at yourself in the mirror because you hate that person that you're looking at because it's not really you. You don't want people to see you because you're so ashamed of who you become. I isolated myself as much as I possibly could because I just didn't want people to. I knew what they were thinking, and I, like I said, I tried to pretend that it didn't bother me, but deep down it did. It hurt me because I knew I was a better person than that. But when you find yourself isolating and you're scared to go anywhere because you might run into certain people and they may see your appearance is another one. Look at your appearance compared to what you look like before you start doing drugs and alcohol. This disease it'll rob you of everything. Your self-worth is robbed. And, I just want you to take a look at that. Just look at those three things: your behavior, the trust, and the isolation. If you just take a look at those three, and if you really be honest with yourself, you have to be rigorously honest with yourself. And you'll realize that, everything that he's speaking of, that's me. Because that was me. So if you can just take a look at that and admit it, just admit it again that you have a problem. I'm isolating. People don't trust me. My behavior is just all out of whack because the things that I'm doing, taking, like I said, anytime that you can take food out of your children's mouth to support a drug habit or something's wrong. Who in their right mind, because it would take away from their own kids to support their habit. It's like I said before, alcohol and drug addiction is a selfish disease. Anytime you can take away from your kids to support your habit, how selfish is that? And if that don't tell you you have a problem, then I don't know if there's any hope for you. Because you have to be honest. And that shame, guilt, remorse that I speak of, that's what sets in on you. That's what makes you want another drink. That's what makes you want to get high again. Because you know what? You cannot bear it to think what you have become. The only way you can suppress those feelings is to get high or to get drunk. That's why you have to do it every day, every night, every second of the day if you can get it in you. Because you know what? You're hurting. You are hurting, and it hurts too bad when you're not drunk or you're not high. So I encourage you to take a look at yourself, look at your behavior, look at the pattern. You know, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. And that's what they call insanity. And that's what alcoholics and addicts, that's what we become. We lost our minds. We completely lost our minds. I had to admit it myself. You know, especially taking things from people that work hard for what they have, and you decide that you want to steal it to support your habit. And when you go to that level, you've gotten bad. So like I said on the last segment, look at the person in the mirror, take the mask off and quit playing games, because this is not a game. This is a matter of life and death. And if you want to live, then you'll do something about it, because it will take your life. It will send you to prison. It will send you to the nut house if you're not careful. I just call it like I see it. It will literally drive you right to the grave. So, again, look at yourself. Ask yourself the question, do I have a problem? Even better than that, what are you going to do about it? When you recognize it, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to continue to just kind of pedal around? Are you going to take it serious enough to realize, hey, this have taken me further than I want to go. I'm sick of hurting. I'm sick of taking from my family. I want to win people's trust back. I want to be able to go around people and not have to be ashamed. You can have all that back and even more, but you have to be willing. You have to be willing to want change. We're coming into a new year. Don't be like me. Make resolutions for 20 years and never succeed. Let this new year be a time that you say, you know what, I'm done. I surrender. This life has got the best of me. It has got the best of me. And now it's time for me to fight. If I have any self-worth, if I have just an ounce of self-worth in me, I'm going to take it and fight for my life. I'm going to fight. You can change. You got to want it. But more than want it, you got to be willing to change. I can tell you I want it forever, but until I do put something into action, then it's always going to be the same. Sit down and talk with someone about it. Tell someone that you're willing to go get help. Reach out. Fight. And with that, I want to say this. If you're listening to me now, and if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, let's fight together. Let's fight this together. I'll be an alcoholic until the day I leave this world. Even though I have 14 years sobriety, I'm still an alcoholic. The reason I'm an alcoholic is because I can't drink. I cannot drink because if I drink one beer, I'm off to the races. And I understand that today. I can't play with this disease because I am an alcoholic. And I thank the good Lord that I have 14 years, but I don't kid myself, I'm still an alcoholic. And that's just the way it is. But I'm thankful that I'm a recovering alcoholic. And I hope that you guys, man out there, I hope you have a Merry Christmas. I hope you have a Happy New Year. I hope somewhere between now and then that you make a decision, make the most important decision of your life, that I'm willing to change. I'm willing to change. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you. Till next time.